This morning I'm just going to run us through a few mobilizers that I think are so vital to a morning routine to open up the hips, open up the shoulders and open up the spine, because those are the key areas that you need to open up every single morning. So here's a run through of the key exercises. See you there. Hi guys, this is a lunge and twist, and this is such a good mobilizer for the hips, hamstrings, back, chest, you name it. It really hits all of the bases. So first thing in the morning, it's such a good way to start. So rotate with both arms after you've framed the foot, step back into your standing position and then lunge forward into the opposite leg and do the same twist on each side, starting with the hand that's on the same side as the front foot. Really use the hand on the floor to manipulate the twist and create a bigger range of motion. This is all about trying to find your ranges, guys, and to get the joints working to their range to encourage more space in the joint where it's really tight. After you've done both legs once, change back on the leg that you started on and repeat it continuously. This is really all about opening and changing. Step back and then step forward with the left foot, frame that foot with both hands, twist the left arm, open it out, search for the sky or the ceiling, turn the head with it before returning that hand back down to the floor and turning back out with the right hand and turning that towards the sky. Place the hand down, lift the hands and step back. Repeat for a third time on the right foot, get down over that right leg, step into it, bend the knee and hip and then twist that right arm round towards the sky before bringing that right arm down again to the floor and twisting out on the left arm. As you can see, this follows a really nice pattern and rhythm that can open up the body in a way that you can't achieve with most other mobility exercises. On this third time on this left leg, just try to engineer that little bit more space, just to try to create as much of a range of motion as you possibly can as your body has warmed up through the different sets of this exercise. We're going to move into a wide-legged forward bend into Cobra. This really opens up the groin, inner thighs and hamstrings. As you walk forward, we get this lovely extension of the spine, and you can see with my feet, the arch of my foot has come towards the floor so that my heels and toes are both flat on the floor. Once I've extended, I'm going to take a big deep breath there and then walk back in. Before I walk back out, slowly drop the hips, look up, extend, pull the shoulder blades down and let that whole hip area at the front of the body just extend maximally. And as I walk my hands back into my feet, I try to bend those elbows and open that up that little bit more before I walk my feet slowly together with my hands on the ground to change the angle on how we finally create that stretch. I sit into a deep squat, which in yoga is called a chair pose, before I fully extend my legs and look through my legs behind me in a forward fold before I bend, extend the spine, lift the chest and sit into this activated position here before I push the stretch down the hamstrings and fold forwards as I straighten my legs. You can see the weight of my upper body weighs those hamstrings down before I bend the knees again, lift the chin and chest, extend the spine, hold the elbows out in front of me, activate the muscles and then stretch and strengthen the back of those hamstrings by folding forward and really stretching those legs with those legs squeezed and the quads tight. Sit into that deep squat. You see I've moved my feet out slightly just to engineer a bit more space. I'm always keeping my knees tracking over my toes and my extension of my spine at the front of my mind so that I'm always keeping tall and in a good technical position. I'm moving through this forward fold and this flex to really create space all the way down the posterior chain and in that hip position get some activation. This is one of my favorite hamstring stretches, if not my favorite one. Finally, to finish off, just unravel the spine by releasing vertebrae by vertebrae. Take as long as you want on this, letting the spine round before coming to that full standing position relaxing your shoulders, moving to the top of your mat, reverse lunge and take a huge step back. Drive your front knee forward, straighten your back leg, and then arch those arms high and over the head so that we create a huge extension through the hip. This is so important for your runners out there who really use that hip flexion thousands of times on every run. So creating space through that anterior chain now, from the tip of the toe down the front of the leg and into the hip and abdominal area, is such an important thing to try and achieve. This is such a great move for that whole front of the body that it just loosens up everything. So if you drive that left knee forward as you step back with the right foot, and as you step back with the left foot, drive that right knee forward, then stretch the arms high towards the sky, bringing your eyes up so that you create this lovely arc in the lower back and the upper back to create this lovely stretch that really pulls that whole body into a position that just feels so naturally good for your hips. It is such a great way to start the day with this included, guys. This part of your routine is one of the best to open up those inner thighs. When I suffered a knee injury, I did this every day, and this changed the game by opening up the groin and opening up the hamstrings and lower back simultaneously. This deep resting squat is so important. So as you sit down, tilt your pelvis back, press your elbows into the inner parts of the knee, not below that, not down the shins. Extend your spine and lift your chest. Sit into this so that you can really tilt that pelvis backwards and engineer more and more space. And as you go through the hold, make sure you develop the stretch by tilting back more, extending the spine more, lifting your hips slightly, and then lifting your chest. And to finish, guys, this mobility where you kick the leg straight through is so good for that hamstring and hip. So take a little step back, a little step forward with the opposite leg, and then kick forward, pulling your toe in towards your knee. Right leg through, step back, right leg forward, left leg through, step back, left leg forward, right leg through. And as you pull that toe in, it's going to pull all the way down that straight leg in a nice big momentum swing that will really engineer great space down that posterior of that leg, which is such a good feeling after you've loosened up your hips and hamstrings, and it feels like there's so much space in there to swing through it. And then after that, we're going to go into the cross kick, which is like the lateral frontal plane version of the same leg swing. So push the arms in the opposite direction to the direction that the leg swings. You can see I'm twisting to my right as my kick goes across to my left. And then start with your feet staggered, get those arms up and swing across the body. This will work the groin and the abduction muscles, the glute med and the outer thigh. As you swing through it, guys, start to build your momentum, and it will also work on the balance and core of the upper body, so it feels like a nice combined movement. And there we have a quick 10-minute routine that you can do first thing in the morning to loosen up all of those key areas, make you feel ready for the day and ready to stay mobile and strong. Take care, guys. See you soon.